Hi guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. This is Heuristique. My name's Nico and I'm one of the readers, and I'm realizing how terrible this looks in my hair. Quick outfit change. This bow is actually really cute, but like I just cannot seem to get it right in my hair. Like, do you guys see how cute that is? Like, anyway, it didn't work. That's fine. We don't need them anyway. Don't need them. So without further ado, this is a daily, it's general. Yeah, it's a daily, it's general. It may or may not resonate. Let's hope it does. So let's see whose energy I pick up on today. It's interesting. Very interesting. So the first two cards we have are Snake and Fire Ant. Oh. There's a decision that needs to be made, and it's a very heavy decision because instantly, as much as I've been like laughing and goofing off, it's almost like as I started shuffling the cards, someone was like, haha, no, but like really. It's like there's a cycle that's been completed, you know, a phase, but it's not, it is that, but it's also like, this is still your energy though. That's so weird. So I have three cards here, Fire Ant, Snake, and Peacock, and the weirdest thing is they're all coming from your energy. Do you see that? Every time I flick it, look at that. I'm so distracted today. Look at this. So it's almost like, God, this is just a mess of a situation. This is like a real mess. Like, as the reader, I'm trying to like read through the line and just be like very forward, but I don't think I've said like a single thing about this reading yet, which is so weird. You might be avoiding it. You know, this card does talk about things getting to us and us not wanting to admit it or really speak on it. So I'm wondering if whatever situation this is, whatever decision needs to be made, it's like really bringing the heat, you know, it's, the temperature is being turned up. And I do sense that you've completed this sort of like, I'm hearing like ego trip. It's like something for a while has been like riding you high and like has really had that like, because the Peacock card, it can talk about so many different things, but today it's really coming through as ego for me. Like I saw it and that was the first thing that came to mind. So it's almost like you've been dealing with like a situation or a cycle where like your ego is very much prioritized. I dropped the card and it wants to stay down. Like that's over. Your ego is like you're going through an ego death is what I'm hearing. And have already been through a couple, but it's like you're still making your way through the ego deaths. Oh my God, excuse me, deaths. It's like your ego still hasn't fully been put to the side. I mean, does it ever really get fully put to the side? But like, I'm sensing you still have quite a bit to go. Not in a bad way, not in a condescending way, nothing like that. It's just like, it feels like you still are like, there's like a bitterness in my mouth that I kind of like, I can taste it. Which means there still is a situation that's like unresolved from your past, or if bitterness is coming up, like there's something that like has made you feel that way for probably like very, you know, justified reasons. But yeah, there's a decision that needs to be made. And like with the Snake card, it's like there's this culmination that's happening, you know, wrapping up a cycle, finishing things up. But it's not even like you're going to like a new cycle, you're going to the next stage, which happens to be a new cycle, right? So it's like you've been going like this, it's all been good, but now you've reached the end point where you actually have to like level up. But in order to level up, there needs to be a decision that needs to be made. And it's, I don't know if it's between, you know, this very well could be school, this very well could be career, person, thing, place, you know, it could be choosing between two different locations, two different people. It does kind of, I mean, my readings it works on like a bunch of different ways, you know, there's so many different ways to interpret it, but I really tend to focus on like people relations, and it does feel like in this situation it's just it's two people that you need to kind of decide between, and one of them I'm hearing is really good for your ego and the other one really isn't, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I kind of want to get cards on the two people. Can I get a card for, or it might not be two people, you know, the two options that you have to choose between. What are the, okay, black egg. I'm gonna go, and, oh, wow, 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 oh my God. So, I mean, that's insane. So you have to choose between the black egg and the dragon. And this is the interesting thing. Dragons are born from eggs, obviously, but like they're crystal eggs. I believe, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure dragons are born from like magical stone, egg, whatevers. So it's almost like you have to choose between the pre-born dragon and like the already born dragon, if that makes sense. It's like you have to choose between something that's already started, I guess? Not even though, you haven't started anything with the dragon, it's not that. How do I explain this? It's like this person, you can make them what you want. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't know how I feel about that. Because they're unborn, right? So their potential, this card talks about a truth needing to be spoken, right? Like someone's truth. So it's almost like this person, the first person you're picking from, it's like there's a lot more, how do I explain this? Like, there's a lot more you can, I guess, initiate with it, if that makes sense. Like, usually this card comes off like very high vibe, but like this time it's just coming across as kind of like, just like, it's not radiating any sound, which is weird because this card normally like screams at me, but it's literally just like, it's so still and it's so unmoving and just like, it's almost like you're questioning if there's anything even in the egg. I almost want to get a clarifier for that person because I don't get the best energy off of them, but like I could be wrong. Fish, and like I think it came out in reverse for a reason. Like, geez, this person like could be a Pisces. Like low vibe Pisces are like the worst because I feel like I've only met like super high vibe Pisces. So like, geez. Oldest sign in the zodiac, the most karma. And I think the fish was meant to come out in reverse this time because there's something about this person. Okay, now it clicked. This person drags you in almost, like, you know the way that the fish is like going down, it's like being pulled into like a whirlpool almost with this person, you know, like a black hole, the black egg, a black hole, but it's not like a good kind, it's the kind you go in and you like never get out. Oh, it seems like, you know, this could be the person or thing, place, opportunity that was like really good for your ego, you know? That's what it sounds like. It just sounds like, you know, you've been riding high almost, right? But this person, it's like they're bringing you down. I think that's what you started to notice or whatever. But I don't think they're a bad person. I just think they're dealing with their own stuff. So it's almost like it's not their fault is what I'm hearing almost. Like it is, but it isn't. Like, they still have a lot of stuff they need to take responsibility for. You still care about them, but you just don't love them anymore. If that's the case, or you don't love the situation, you don't love the place, it's like, just, you know, now I'm seeing just like a drain. Like all the love has been drained from the situation and you're just like, oh God, like you're like, yeah, like it's still a dragon egg. Like who wouldn't want a dragon egg? That's great. But like, the reality of it is just so different than the, I guess, allure of it. I don't know. That's just what it feels like. And then on the other side, see, like this person, I feel bad because I'm not trying to make your decision for you, because I know it sounds like it, because I'm really just not getting, it's not that I'm not getting good vibes off this person or place or thing. It's just like you've outgrown it is the best way to say it, right? Like your egg is hatching, and like if their egg isn't, it's not your fault kind of thing. Like I'm hearing like you gotta go, you know, you're like, I kind of like, I gotta go. Like I can't keep being held back, which is fair and justifiable, and I don't think it's selfish at all. I think when it comes from a place of, you know, because I said there's like no love, and that's not true. It's just you're not in love with the person anymore, if that makes sense, you know? Like you still love them, you still don't want to see them hurt or anything, but you're just like, it's not doing it for you anymore. And then you have the dragon. This person is spicy. I can relate. Damn, I almost feel like they're like femme fatale, you know, or whatever, the bad boy. Like, it just seems like this person is like resting bitch face to the max. They're just so stoic. Like, you cannot get a read on them. They're just something so different. And I think we're really, see, I don't feel this. I don't feel this card with it, so I'm gonna put it back. So I think the thing that really is sort of surprising you about this person, there we go, is, this sounds so terrible and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's like everything you saw or you thought you saw in the black egg is actually embodied by this dragon, which kind of makes sense, right? Because the egg hasn't hatched. If it hasn't hatched, how do you know its potential yet? But the dragon is like, here's my potential. I know what I am. I know my potential. Like, this is someone who really knows themselves, right? This card talks about the self behind the self. Like, just look at that eye. Look at that. He, like, staring through your soul. This person, like, can stare through your soul. It's just one of those people that has that, like, keen ability to just see through people. And with the dragon card coming out, there's so much reptilian energy, you know what I mean? Snake, black egg, dragon. And it's like, this cycle is completing, you know, there's so many scales, even the fish has scales, oh my God. And it is a very scaly situation. I almost feel like snakes in the grass too, coming around your energy. There might be a lot of like, just with the fire ant card, like I feel like you're at the center of this, you know, once again, like the imagery, like you're at the center of it, and it's like there's so many people talking in your ear, you know, and you're kind of just like, silence, like shut up, I need to make my decision. Like that's how it's feeling. It's like you're making a decision and it's coming from the heart, the core of your heart, I want to say. And when you make up your mind, you do it, you go for it, there's no hesitating, right? And I think you're just trying to find a way to, like, in the nicest way possible, tell someone they're not the one for you. Or like you don't want to keep seeing them, or like if this is a school, you know, being like, I'm graduating, or I'm switching schools, or I'm switching jobs. Like it's just one of those things, like switching houses, place, like anything, right? But it does kind of feel like two people. It feels like you're just saying like, this isn't meant for me anymore, I've outgrown it. And it's interesting because the dragon's clarifier is the whale. So like, you know, it's just, I don't want to say it's comparing oranges and apples, because it's not, because they're technically the same, but it's like, how do you say this in a non, you know, rude way, where it's like, this is like, you know, a burger from McDonald's, and this is like a burger with caviar with like the most expensive cheese and gold dripping off of it. It's like, well, which one do you think you're gonna choose? Like, it's not their fault they're this, it's not their fault, and it's not your fault that you're attracted to this, you know what I mean? It's like, this is great, this is perfect, but it's just not for you, if that makes sense, right? Like, this is great, this is gonna be somebody's everything, but for you, it's like, this is it. this is what the real prize is. And you can just tell by like the cards that came out with it, right? Like here we have black egg and fish, and then it's like to one up the black egg, you have the dragon, and then to one up the fish, you have the whale. Like the connection with this one is just something so much more different and like exquisite is what I'm hearing. Like with the whale card, there's so many deep emotions. That might be the issue right now, the thing that's like really getting to you. It's like, I'm with someone else, but I have these emotions for someone else. Or it's like, if you are single and you're just choosing between the two people, it's like, everyone says to go for this person, but I want to go for this person. It's like, you do have to make a decision between two different people. And it's just with a whale and dragon card, like, I like, this one just seems like the right choice, you know? It's like, the whale card talks about such deep emotions, but the problem with this energy, and this is what I will warn you about, it's very powerful, it's very strong, it's very intense, you know? The intensity is there. There's so much intensity in these cards. And even whales, you know, they move a little bit, and like, how much like does the ocean move with them? Like the amount of waves a whale can make, the amount of waves a dragon could probably make if you threw one of those things in the ocean. Like, these are two big, like, top dog energies, you know, alpha status. Like, this person is on top of their game, and it's almost like you're meeting them there, which is like, oh, so sexy. Like, this person is probably like, damn, but like, at the same time, you're a fire ant and a snake, so you're not quite at their level yet, but you're like getting there, which is like kind of cool. And I kind of feel like that's what you need. You need someone who's always gonna sort of challenge you. You know how they say good love like supports and challenges? It's kind of like that, where it's like there's not much of a challenge with this one, you know? It's like, you know it inside out. You're just like, been there, done that. Like, nothing's really moving. It's comfortable, it's safe, but like, whatevs. And then there's just this one that's like I'm getting it right now. It's almost like someone like in the cartoons when someone gets like smacked upside the head, and there's like all these little like, and they're like, whoo, and you have all the love hearts coming out. Like, yeah, it's almost like doink. Like, you're just so into them. You're just so like, all you can see is them. All you can see is like, you know, it's almost like the more you try to not think about them, the more you think about them. It's this very intense, passionate, deep, like, you know, this is like wifey, hubby stuff. It's like you looking at them and you being like, oh yeah, that is my hubby. And them looking right back at you and then being like, what's good, wifey? Like, big wifey and hubby energy, which I love, or they, you know, why label it? So I think my only advice is that you really need to make your decision and tie up those loose ends and talk it out, talk therapy, you know, like the fire ant card. Like, if it's really getting to you, you might want to go for like a nighttime walk. You might want to clear your head, go into nature, try to sort of calm yourself before making that final decision. Because you never want to make a decision when your emotions are in turmoil, because you won't make a clear decision, you know? If you make a decision when you're really angry, you're probably gonna regret it later when you're calm. Or if you make a decision when you're super, super happy, and then later on it ends up being the wrong decision, and you're like, oh my God, if I was just like neutral, I could have made the right decision. So it's kind of like that, where you're gonna have to be neutral and then almost like muster up this courage to make the decision and go after what you want, I guess, and like set things right is also what I'm hearing. It's almost like things have been a little wrong for a while, and this is almost like you making this decision or you doing this like pivot point in your life almost like makes things right again. It's almost like the justice card. Like, everything goes back to being right again, if that makes sense. So that's the end of this reading. This is a super cryptic reading. I feel like this might only be for like a few people. This is super unique. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.